Fuck Stephen A. Stephen A, Stephen B, Stephen C. Like, my offer still stands.
Okay, so we got to talk about Stephen A. Smith and Jaylen Brown, man. Jaylen Brown went off calling out Stephen A. Smith for being a fake journalist. And we all know that Jaylen Brown confronted Stephen A. Smith a while ago when he pretty much called Stephen A. Smith a coward to his face, talking about Stephen A. Smith and these fake sources when they was leaking these rumors about Jaylen Brown.
Jaylen Brown, it's not so much that he's underrated. It's that he's just not liked because of his, quote, "I am better than you" attitude. He knows it. It's the same reason he is not as marketable as he should be. That's what an NBA source just sent me.
This all kind of happened on your platform. I want to send a message to you, and I basically wanted to say that I think it's cowardice.
Jaylen Brown recently appeared on a live stream where he discussed the NBA, media coverage, and some of the commentators who have been talking about him, including Stephen A. Smith. During the offseason, he has also been doing interviews and sharing his thoughts on various topics. In this latest stream, he directly addressed Stephen A. Smith. Let's take a look at the clip, and if you enjoy the content, be sure to leave a thumbs up. It really helps support the channel, and I truly appreciate it. Thank you.
Let's get into the good stuff. Last week, I had an exchange online with Stephen A., where he was vocal about what he thought I needed to do, and he also said some other things. So let's watch it together on stream chat. We can react to it together. This is just, we're just doing some investigative journalism. This is one of the clips that was going viral from our exchange. This was his response.
On Jaylen Brown's program. You know where Jason Tatum was?
Let's start it over.
That Jason Tatum hasn't appeared on Jaylen Brown's program.
Okay.
You know where Jason Tatum was? Right here on First Take.
Let's pause right there. What type of journalism is this? Jason Tatum hasn't been on my stream, and this is what we're talking about on First Take? What if JT just don't like being somewhere in an uncontrolled environment? Why are you doing journalism on me having guests on my stream? And this is a part of the reason why I started streaming. This is a part of the reason why people use the term clown, and it synchronizes with someone like Stephen A. Smith. Because this is what you're using your platform for. What are you talking about? Let's continue.
So in other words, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum showed up on First Take before he showed up on your damn show.
What does that have to do with anything? What? This is journalism? This is why I started streaming, chat. What does that have to do with basketball? What does that have to do with performance? What does that have to do with anything relative to like the game? You know what I mean? It doesn't. And this is where, why people call him out, because he uses his platform and his nature, and his nature can be, this causes issues.
This is stuff that just flying over your head? You think nobody notices that hasn't happened? You're saying it's the year that Jason Tatum was down with an Achilles tear is your favorite year? The year that Jason Tatum had to sit out, this closeout Game 7 because of the injury he incurred in Game.
What's up, Jess?
Can y'all hear it?
I turned it up. I can hear it. Here, ready? Pull.
That's your favorite year? The year?
They might be able to hear it better now.
Pull this up a little bit.
Which one?
Top, yeah, go this way. Keep going, try there. Yeah, see now.
That you lose 3-1. Of all the stars in the history of the Boston Celtics, you the only one because you were driving the bus. Ain't nobody pointing to Jason Tatum. He was sitting.
Right.
He was sitting. He was in street clothes. You the only one. The only star in the history of the Boston Celtics that ever lost a 3-1 lead and surrendered it, and that's your favorite year. Why? Because you and your teammates developed better chemistry and camaraderie? You understand what I'm saying? Because you overcame adversity?
See, this is where I gotta pause again. See, this is a narrative that he's creating. This is in journalism. This is him making his own opinion and formalizing it about what I had to say on his platform. And this is why respectfully, a lot of people say, fuck Stephen A. Because this is the type of stuff he does, and then he doesn't recognize it. But he's creating a narrative saying that the reason why I'm saying that I had my favorite season is because selfishly I had a best performing year. Not the fact that we outproved expectations, not the fact that everybody expected us to be nothing and we had to fight and we showed up and we competed every single day and we had to fight for every victory. Not the joy of watching our teammates grow, or not the joy of watching guys who are unproven start to solidify themselves as well through leadership, through chemistry. Like, he maybe not doesn't understand that because maybe he's never had to fight for nothing in his life. Maybe anytime adversity is hit, he's rolled over or he's gave in. So he thinks it's the same thing as somebody who has little to no expectation and they stood up and they made a name for themselves. He may not understand that concept, and that's why he's pushing his narrative. But once again, this is what Stephen A is using his platform for. Let's see what he finishes with.
What happens? What's the remedy? Given all these things you're pointing out, I'm with you. That's why I brought up the whole trade thing again. What are you going to do about it?
I don't mind, but what I'm saying is the first order of business is that he needs to be quiet and like...
Let me stop right there. Did he just say I needed to be quiet? Be quiet for who? Man, fuck Stephen A. Stephen A, Stephen B, Stephen C. Like, my offer still stands. You want me to be quiet and stop streaming? Well, I want you to be quiet and get off these networks, because you're not using your platform to do real journalism. You're using your platform to use clickbait. Tell this motherfucker to retire, you know, because he's the face of clickbait media at the point. And maybe with his retirement, we could spark a movement to get the rest of these motherfuckers out of here, or to also have some type of forget journalistic integrity, actual integrity, in order to hold themselves accountable to the bullshit takes they put out with no basis, no bias, no information, just narrative, just for the sake of just pushing a weak narrative, just purely out of that. I'll give it up. I'll pass streaming. I'll sign some streamers or some shit. I'll you know what I mean? It ain't a big deal. Y'all ain't never heard from me before this. Think about it. I don't do no media, no podcasts. I don't do none of that. I barely post on social media. But the fact is that my obligation is to, as an athlete, I'm obligated to speak to the media. It's my job. Like, he thinks the media is his job, and so is it's my job too. It's in my contract. If I do not speak to the media, then I will be fined. So when they use that comparison where it's my job, it's your job to play basketball, it's also my job to speak to the media. It is also my job to speak to the media. I get fined if I don't.
That's it for today's video. I just wanted to show you that clip of Jaylen Brown calling out Stephen A. Smith. As many of you know, this is not the first time Brown has challenged Smith or questioned his coverage and commentary. It's clear that Jaylen is willing to speak up when he disagrees with something. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.